Hey, this is Jeff, and I am the chaplain across the street from Ridgewater College with United Campus Ministry. And while we're stuck in this situation with the pandemic and not being able to do ministry the way we typically do ministry, I decided to reach out to current and former students and conduct some interviews. So I'm going to be posting interviews for the foreseeable future as I can get in contact with some of these students and record these. And I just want to have people get to know some of the faces that we do ministry for, and then hear their stories and let them be known too. Because I don't want them just to be a statistic. I want you to know each student as much as we can possibly do that. So without any further delay, here we go. All right, I'm here with Grace Smith. Grace, why don't you tell me where are you from?
I'm from Bruce, South Dakota.
Now, where is Bruce, South Dakota?
It's a tiny, tiny town by Brookings, like South Dakota. It's like half an hour away from there, like north, I think.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
So what are you studying at Ridgewater?
I'm studying massage therapy.
Massage therapy. Why massage therapy?
That's just what I wanted to do since like my senior year. I love the health aspect of it and the job opportunity. There's lots of job opportunity for it. It just fascinates me. I love it.
So why did you pick Ridgewater for your studies?
It had the degree I was wanting. Lots of schools just have the 1-year program, which is great. But I wanted the degree, and that's a 2-year. So with the 1 year, it's just certified, which is great too. But I wanted the degree, so Bridgewater had that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest transition from Bruce, South Dakota, to Ridgewater in Willmar?
I think probably the drive, pretty much. Like I've been in Willmar once or twice before. I used to live in Minnesota, but not in that area. So going from a town that I knew, Bruce and Brookings and those areas, to going to Willmar, it was a bit of a transition just driving around, knowing where things are. The campus, I'd never been to Ridgewater. I think we did a tour once before we were there, but then it was first day and just driving around and getting to know the campus. So that was probably the biggest transition in making friends. And yeah, because I didn't know anybody, so it was a big transition in that score too. So.
All right. Well, how did you start to connect with people and make friends at the school?
My program was pretty small. We had, I think, like 13 or 14 people in my whole program, which that's about the average of that program. It's normally kind of a smaller program, which is kind of nice. I liked it that way. It was more interpersonal. We got to get to know each other really well. We had study groups, especially this second year too. I'm on my second year, and I've been part of the student ambassador program where I've gotten to know other friends. I've worked for the school in that area. Part of a club at Ridgewater, PTK, and through the ministry too. Met lots of friends there, and Joppa, lots and lots of friends from there too. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing you've had to learn at school?
Probably time management.
Time management.
Yeah, and I feel like that's pretty normal, but it was a big shock probably. So yeah, high school is very different from college.
Yeah.
It was good though. I mean, you get the hang of it and trial and error.
So like time management, how about for the scholastically, what was the hardest thing? Like terminologies or anything like that, or locations of muscles or anything?
Yeah, that was pretty hard. The study groups were really helpful with that, but I'd say probably terminology, like especially with my program, I had a lot of pathology. So lots of conditions, illnesses and other stuff like that I had to learn. Yeah, lots of terminology. So
what's your favorite terminology that you can say?
Well, okay, there's the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is like kind of in the neck, in the front of the neck over here. That's not really a pathology thing, I guess. That's more like on the anatomy side, but that's the first thing I thought of. So when I first heard it, I'm like, whoa, that's a long word. What a cool muscle. And it's actually kind of a smaller one. So fun fact. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're not in school around Willmar here?
I love going to Lulu Beans. Lulu Beans is like my favorite place in that whole town. I love Lulu Beans. I like to hang out with friends there. I love going shopping. There's like lots of nice thrift stores and stuff like that in Willmar. Yeah, I just like hanging out with friends mostly. It's a good town. So
What's your beverage of choice at Lulu Beans?
I like the chai tea with almond milk.
There you
So
go.
yeah, good stuff. I think Karan introduced me that to me. So it's a good one.
So, where have you grown most as a person in the last 2 years?
Um, Probably like definitely my faith, absolutely, and lots of things have contributed to that. Um, yeah, just being on my own, making my faith my own, just being out of the house anywhere and having to make that decision of consciously saying like, okay, I'm gonna go to church, I'm gonna participate in this, I'm gonna be part of other stuff like that. I'm gonna be intentional about where I go, the friends I make, the stuff I avoid, things like that. It's different when you make your faith your own, whereas when you're home, it's just part of a routine a little more. So that was really good for me. That's a big part of my growth. Also just like in my ability to make friends and connect with people, that's been huge. I mean, it's kind of fun to think like I've gone from literally like a different state, so I didn't know anybody, going from not knowing anyone to knowing a pretty good amount of people in the school. I run into friends. Well, I used to run into friends all the time when we were at school. So yeah, it's kind of fun to see that change.
Yeah.
And that's a huge area of growth too. So
What what's been the biggest transition during this time of the COVID pandemic for you as a student? Like, what's been the biggest challenge for you as a student right now?
uh, kind of the same answer, like connection. I love hanging out with my friends. I really, really miss them. And I know I text with them and stuff too, but it really is different when you can't just go, hey, you want to meet me in the Beans in an hour or so? It's really, it's hard. It's difficult to lose that connection in the same way. So that's
How's
probably
that
the hardest.
impacted your studies?
Uh, it's, well, we're all online, and massage is it's pretty difficult to do online. It was a big hoop for my professor to jump through. Um, I guess just lots of Zoom meetings, just like every other class is doing. The amount of hours that I'm required to get in massage are lowered significantly. Well, a good chunk, They're lowered quite a bit, just because we don't want to contribute to the spread of COVID. So I mean, we're mostly encouraged to work on family members who are already nearby and get our hours done on that score. But especially for the first year massage therapy students, I think the amount of hours they need to graduate is significantly lowered. So that's probably the main area it's changed.
So do your family members appreciate the fact that you have to use them as subjects at home during this time?
Yeah, they do, especially my dad. So yeah, they're liking it. So it's not all of a bad thing. So
So what's the first thing you're going to do once some of the restrictions are lifted and you have your freedoms back, as far as there's, let's say there's no limits anymore? What's the first thing you're going to do?
oh man, I'm so excited. I'm gonna hightail it down to Willmar, and I'm gonna go shopping, hang out with some friends, go to Lulu Beans. I'm just gonna like spend a few days there and catch up on all the stuff I've missed out on. So yeah,
Oh,
it'll be fun to go back down there and just get out. Like pretty much just do anything outside of the house, I guess. But
yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome. I hope that comes soon, and I thank you
Yeah.
for your time. This was great. You did a great job. So thank you for your time, Grace, and I'll be
Thanks.
posting this soon. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.